is the Orrery, and an Orrery is a planet tracker, basically. It's a mechanical way of showing the relative positions of the planets. And this particular Orrery is made for the 10,000-year clock, and it has a set of calculation layers on the bottom and then a set of rings representing the planets up above. The reason we have an Orrery inside the clock, or a planetary display, is that we want to be able to show the natural cycles of certain things like the planets, so that if someone were to find this clock far into the future, that they would be able to look up into the sky, see where the relative planet positions are, and rectify that to the Gregorian calendar. The Long Now Foundation recently moved into this space that allows us to publicly display some of the prototypes and works in progress for the 10,000-year clock and some of our other projects. You're going to see some footage of how this device was made and how we moved it into this space, which is actually no small feat.
I thought actually the move today went very, very well, considering that we've moved something that we in Seattle were used in our shop to having large-scale forklifts and bridge cranes and other sorts of things to move this kind of stuff around. And I thought being able to move it by hand as carefully as we did came out really, really well. Putting this in a storefront is not an easy task. My name is Stuart Kendall. I'm one of the principals in a firm called Seattle Solstice. We're in the stoneworking business up in Seattle, Washington. 6 or 8 months ago, we got introduced to the Long Now organization through essentially a mutual friend, and one thing led to another, and they had a desire to want to have a very unusual base for this current clock that's being installed in the next room. And I think it's kind of fitting in the fact that this rock was shaped to its current form in the great ice age of about 10,000 years back. And we think it's kind of neat to marry that to essentially a technological piece from this era on the top that's going to go the next 10,000 years.
I mean, this new base that Stuart and Jason built for us from Seattle Solstice, I think that juxtaposition of this mechanical thing rising out of this beautiful stone, to me, it really makes it a very sort of unusual, beautiful piece. I would say the parts for the Orrery were the most challenging of any of the stuff I've built so far. The adder parts, things like the track and the slider, they were not the sort of normal machine parts you get, you know, things of this sort of size. They were big plates, they were very expensive. There was a lot of time and money into the plates before I even touched them.
Next phase, we're just about to put the main mill on, so this is sort of the point in which the parts that they've made and the parts that we've made must mate together exactly. Really, it's a proud moment for us. We're really pleased with the whole thing. I think it's going to be great.
My name is Paolo Salvagioni. I'm a project engineer on the Clock of the Long Now. Right now I'm checking the program. Each layer has a unique number assigned to its planet, and as the adder layer rotates, it adds this number from the inside to the outside. These pins can hold the value of 1 or 0. There's 28 of them. And after the outside register has counted up a certain number of times, it overflows and the Geneva wheel rotates to update the display layer. Looks good. Looks like the program's working.
I think it's great.
I think it's also important because it's sort of an audacious project to sort of build this thing that's, you know, a metal thing that's going to be around and working for 10,000 years. It's pretty far out. It's pretty outside of just about everybody's scope. I for sure want to see this next version completed. I think it's a very doable thing. And I think when people start to see this project in that scale, I think it really will make people start to think.
It's kind of, I mean, the best way to put it is it's a roundabout way of having people think about their own situation. Because if you can get them to think that far out in the future, as they kind of ponder that place that seems so very far away, It helps them kind of start thinking about their own future.
Just even in building it, the conversation has started, and I think that's really what this project is about. It's the conversation piece that